Hey guys, Tony the Short Assassin. Welcome to our Wednesday night's Smokers Panel Live. Alright, so pollen. Itchy throat pollen. Alright. I got some sodas. I got a cigar. And let's chat today, right? Now, I don't even know why I ordered this. I think it's by mistake. I clicked on something that I didn't think it was, but I have one of these. So this is the Romeo y Julieta Reserve Titan Tubo. And the blend is Nicaraguan, wrapper, filler is Honduras, Nicaraguan, binder is Nicaraguan. Okay, let's take a look. Now, because I'm not doing much of a review anymore, so like the review will happen while I'm chatting. Okay, it just have to be. This is 6 by what? 54? 6 by 54. There you go. The review will have to happen while I chat right now. It's just the way it is. Just the way it is. Okay. So this is considered a Toro 6 by 54. I don't know why they call it Titan. I think that's the name of the cigar. I don't know. But hi, Joey. So let's light this up. Let's talk about this, right? This thing, people will light this up and do it like this way to kind of toast it. I like to just wrap it over the cigar and light it up and then throw it away when it's done. So bear with me. This is how I do it. All right. So I fold it to the length that I want, like that, and I cut it. So I got a scissor right here. All right, like that. And then I wrap it around the cigar that I'm gonna lit, and I light it with the cigar. So that, and I forgot to cut the cap while I was talking about this. So I'm gonna cut the cap now. Not a big deal. All right. So I'm gonna use an easier lighter because that one's harder to show. I just light this out like that while holding onto it over the cigar. Because what you want is the cedar smoke to go inside the cigar. You don't care whether or not the cedar was the one that's lighting the cigar. You want the smell of the cedar to go in the cigar. So light them together. All right. Once you're done toasting, you just have to take a draw together. That's how I do it. That way, you're not like, oh my god, fire, fire. You just need to draw in the taste of the cedar. Everybody has a different way. This is how the way I see it, and I learned from that, and I think that makes sense because you still get the burning cedar outside the cigar, and when you take it a puff, you puff it in anyway. Okay, that's how I do it. Not everybody's got to do this that way, but see how clean that is? I have a sheet that only burns what I need it. I can literally cut this down and use it next time. Yeah, cut it down. Next time I can wrap it again and use it again. What? I've been taking the tubes off when I like them. No, oh, yeah, it's the cedar. It's the cedar. Cedar spills is supposed to give it more flavor, right? So you light it with the cedar if you want to. You don't have to, but if you see how I did it, I just wrap it over it and light it up together. Take it off, cut the sides I don't need it anymore off, and I got still more cedar smells. But I can tell you, if you light it with this thing, because you gotta take so long on this thing, this cedar spill isn't gonna last the entire cigar. So if you light it together and then draw in the flavor of the cedar, that's all you need. All right, woodsy, obviously cedary. A little bit of fruitiness. Leather. Some spice. Adjusting some camera. Okay. All right. So it's kind of getting sweet. I think that's Honduras filler that's doing that work. The Nicaraguan is giving me this more like an earthy, darker tone, almost coffee, almost woodsy, almost a little bit of fruity sweetness to it. That's what's going on with this cigar. Dry is okay. Dry is okay. But yeah, anybody who haven't tried this way, I know some people's gonna like that's stupid, Tony, but it's really not. It's really, really smart. When I first saw it this way, I was like, that makes sense, because all you wanted was the flavor. Why do you have to use this to, like, it doesn't make sense to use something so thin to light something up when you can just light it together. Give that a try. My thing. Give that a try. So yeah, let's talk about like YouTube channel. I think they'll start cracking down more and more on cigar content. I don't know how long the cigar content is gonna last. So simply say, if this channel ever dies, like it just got strikes after strike after strike, it dies. What will happen is we just put the news on the Instagram where we gotta be next, because I don't know. I'm just gonna keep doing what we're doing anyway. And if they give us strike, they give us strikes, right? So if they do that, we'll just find the next place to host video or whatever, and then we'll go from there. We go from there, and we'll put it on the Instagram. Hey Val.
Hey, what's up?
Let me adjust your sound a little bit and put you on the screen. Boom.
There we go. I think I'm on. Can you hear me okay, Tom?
Yep. I see you, and I can hear you, no problem.
All right.
So, how's your vacation?
Hey, it was fast.
Mm-hmm.
The time went by. The first week was a good regular pace, but then after that first week, it just seemed like the time went by very fast. So, yeah, it
Yeah,
was a good time. Good time.
that's
Ate a
good.
lot of bratwurst. I wish I could drink beer, but I can't drink beer. And you know, Germany's not the place to go.
Don't they have
If you
like
don't,
alcohol-free beer?
yeah, I think they do, but yeah, I'm afraid to drink any kind of a beer product. It's not the alcohol; it's something to do with the beer. So I haven't drunk any beer for like 15 years
Okay.
because I have a medical situation
Mm-hmm.
that the doctor said. Several doctors told me I cannot drink beer. Beer is off limits. Okay.
Couldn't you taste beer? You know how like people taste coffee? They take a sip and spit it out.
Yeah, I'm afraid to do that. I'm really hesitant. I really am. But I did question because, I could drink bourbon and whiskey and scotch and wine, tequila.
Well, it's different between distillery, right? Distilled thing versus fermented things. Right? They're two
Yeah.
different things. So,
And so, yeah, no beer,
uh,
no beer, no
well,
beer.
so long as you have a good time there, that's good. Mm.
I was talking to one of my friends. I went and I did a few touristy things, but not too much,
Mm-hmm.
and spaced it out so I didn't overdo it
Mm-hmm.
on the touristy things.
Okay.
And I had a couple of friends that had gone to Europe and they did the touristy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where they went in a big bus, they go to a hotel, get up at this time, have breakfast,
Right.
meet in front of the lobby, and then
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna get on a bus. We're gonna drive 2 hours out here. We're gonna stop at this city. We're gonna do this tour.
Yeah.
Then after the tour, you can go visit the shops and whatever, and then you have to be back in 20, 30 minutes to get on a bus. We're gonna head to this other place. It's another 2 hour drive. We're gonna sit down there, we're gonna have something to eat, do a touristy thing. After the touristy thing is over, then you can visit the town for about 45 minutes. Then we got to get back on the bus. So he told me that it was, yeah, he visited, but he felt like he was on the rush all the time.
Yeah, that's how it is. Yeah.
Okay. Where I did some small town, somewhat small town visits
Mm-hmm.
and some touristy things in some of the bigger cities, but it was at my pace. I mean, it was nice to walk around, stop, have something to eat, have a glass of wine, you know. It was a good time, but the time went by very fast. Um, yeah. And I think if I do it again, I'm not going to be doing two. Well, the max I'm going to do is two things in one day. I'm not going to be try to do three or four things in one day because even though it's at your own pace, you feel like you're still at a rush.
That's something I don't do. If I'm gonna plan something, I plan one thing. If I'm gonna do something, I plan one thing a day, and I spend the rest of the day relaxing.
Yeah, and I think that's the way to do it. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Plan that one thing, do it, and then you have the rest of the day for yourself and to do your own pace or your own thing or whatever.
Right. And that
Yeah.
also like accounts for anything that is in case of something went wrong,
Mhm.
right? If this was late and had to get to the next place, that's when you feel rushed, right? If one thing was delayed, right? So for example, like the bus that you were on broke down, you wait for another bus to pick you guys up. Now you are rushed.
Yeah.
So I always only plan one
or
thing.
you miss your time.
Yeah. I when I travel, when I go out of places, like for example, I go on a cruise, excursion, one thing. I will not do anything more than one thing. And after one thing, I walk around, I go around the place, and I'll just slowly get back to the ship. I don't have to do that. Like even when I'm in Japan with my wife, we go shopping. If she have something that she want to do, like definitely have to do, we'll do that one thing, and the rest of the day we'll just wander around doing nothing.
I think that's the way to do it. Just, I mean, look at the last and this visit was a big part of it was my 50th wedding anniversary.
Mm-hmm. You change that to this instead of that, right? Or something like
Well, yeah, because next year we'll do Kentucky. But what
Mhm.
happened was, when I got married in 75, May of 75, June, we're off to Europe. So we spent, our first Thanksgiving there, our first Christmas there, our first New Year's there. Spent 3 years there in Germany, come back stateside to finish off my tour. And so I had been asking my wife about going and stuff. I seen this would be nice. It's like, a revisited Germany and that kind of stuff. So that was a nice part of it. That was a good part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, the other thing that I really liked is on one of the tours was in Nuremberg. We went to where they had the Nuremberg trials. You're familiar
Mm-hmm.
with that?
Mm-hmm.
So the museum there, you get like a self uh tutorial tour.
Okay.
Okay. So what they do is they give you something like a cell phone, but it's not a cell phone, right? They give you something like this.
Okay.
And on the face of it, when you turn it on, you press down and it gives you different languages.
Mm-hmm. Translator.
A translator, yeah, and you pick the language. I chose English. Boom, press
Mm-hmm.
English. Now it's programming for English.
Mm-hmm.
So when you walk in the museum, they give you these big pictures. They give you a paragraph about the picture,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's a code number.
Yep. And you read the line.
And you press the code. You type the code number in here. You press your green button, and you can either hold it to your ear or you can turn the volume up, and it tells you about what's going
Yep.
on at that
Mm-hmm.
what those pictures are depicting in your language,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's Japanese, German, Swedish, Spanish, French. I said, man, this is really cool because you got a chance to walk around at your own pace,
Mm-hmm.
stay as long as you wanted, look, pick out the pictures you were interested in, or if you're interested in all of them, you just go from one to the next to the next. So that was a really big plus thing for me.
Yeah, the next time when you go to Asia, some of the museum give you a headset, like a speaker headset thing. It has
Oh,
a
really?
ear thing. You plug in your ear, and when you walk around to the right place, you start talking. You start like as if there's a tour person.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the other thing is, on some of the touristy things, when I try to look it up, the tours, they a lot of the tour guide places, whatever, sometimes they only offered 2 tours that day in English.
Yeah, because you need a tour guy.
Yeah, the tour guide. Yeah. So other than that, it's all the whatever the language. It's all German. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Most of the tour guides speak both languages. They speak
Okay.
English and they
Yeah.
speak German.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're in a German section, all they do is speak German, and you can ask them a question in English, and they know what you're saying. They won't answer you.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And in some of the shops that I went in, when I saw stuff and I tried to read it and I didn't understand, I couldn't figure out the price. And I asked, I said, listen, can you help me? I can't read this. Can you tell me what it says in English?
Mm-hmm.
And the person looks at me like they don't understand me. Okay.
Well,
So they said something to me. I said, okay. I said, how much? How much? Money. How much?
yeah.
Took out how much? And they
Then they'll
look
probably
at
answer
you.
you because not getting paid for the information.
Well, wait, they're not answering, but you're trying to buy something from their shop
Okay.
and they're not answering you. And so what happens is I went to buy an item. I started handing, and I knew how much money I was given. And I made sure I gave less. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the balance in my hand. Okay. And
So
let's say, just an example. Let's say an example. Let's
you
say it
want them to
costs
talk to you by giving them less because now they were like you didn't give enough. Now you can ask the question because they can't pretend they didn't hear you.
yeah. Like let's say I gave him $14 and I gave him $12 and I got $2 in coins.
Mm-hmm.
So I hand him the money and I said, "Is that enough?" And then the person says, "Oh no, I need more of this." And I said, "Oh,
You do speak
see,
English.
so you do speak English." I said, "You know what? I changed my mind. I don't want the item. Give my money back."
Oh my God.
Hey, yeah, yeah. But
Uh,
that did not happen often. Okay, that did not happen often. I'm not saying it was like that all the time,
mm-hmm.
but it's that one time that you remember that.
Okay. All right. Let me talk about that. But before that, let me say, hi Eric. How you doing? Nice setup. Looks nice. Good
Nails,
and sharp.
nails. Where you at, nails?
I'm out.
Oh, can't hear you. Closer. Microphone.
I said my home, Val.
There we
You're
go.
at your home.
All right.
Damn, I thought you might be at a bordelli or something like
I
that.
know, right?
I'm
gonna
telling
set up,
you.
like on point.
All right. And also answering Mike Tuckett. If you pick up a cigar from your local lounge, depends on the humidity, but you can never let it sit too long, right? So you can let it sit, a week, 2 weeks, no problem. But minimum 3-4 days, right? If you wanna accustom to your place, technically you can just smoke it because people go to the lounge. What do? They pick it up and smoke it right away, right? So you can smoke it
Well,
right away. But if you want to let it rest, you can't let it rest.
you can do that, or you can do the Val rule.
What's the Bell rule?
30 days.
That's too long. Okay, all right. So that going back to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So I understand you're a tourist. All right. I understand you're a tourist. But at the same time, you also have to understand that if you go tourist somebody else's country, shouldn't you try to speak their language there?
Yes. But wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. If you're there for a brief period of time, I can say Dankeschön. I can say ein Bier bitte, 1 beer please, and be careful how you hold up your fingers when you ask for a beer.
Right.
I tell you what, I said 1 beer and they brought me 2. Okay, 1 beer, they brought me 2.
Okay.
So anyway, I didn't. It was the beer wasn't for me.
That's fine.
Okay, but yeah, yeah, Tony. Found like when I was in the military and I was in Germany, I had a 2 week introductory to Germany, and you had to take some basic uh, uh, phrases,
Simple
terms, and
phrases.
words in
Please,
German.
thank you. Excuse me.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But if you're there like me for a very short period of time, I could say ein Brat. They know what a brat is. I could say
Right.
ein beer. They know what a beer is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So here, okay. So here's another. Here's another. I want people to think about this. Okay. Here's a perplexing thing. Okay. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Going to the bathroom.
Yeah, that's where the bathroom is.
Going to the bathroom. No. You look at the doors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Some of the doors had pictures. The outline, the design of
Right.
a man and a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the doors don't have that.
Okay. The mail is always on the left side.
Why? Well, I don't see it that way.
Okay.
Get it? I don't see it that way. But look at the females. It says Damen.
Mm-hmm.
Damen. Damen.
Okay.
The men say Heron.
Okay.
Now look at Damen. The man.
No.
Heron. Her man. Her. Her. Okay. Her.
That's not how it works. That's not how language works.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
All right.
Don't put the word up. Just put the figure, the caricature.
Well, some people get the picture wrong too. Right? But here's the thing. Val, let's say you work in America and you work in a retail. and I walk to you and start speaking Chinese, how much this can cost in Chinese? You will want to ignore me even if you can speak some Chinese. Like Chinese is your not your primary language. You like that's kind of rude. You just assume that I gotta speak Chinese now.
I'm working in a store.
Mm-hmm.
The expectation is, and I'm in where?
You're in the U.S.
I'm in China.
You're
I'm
in
in
Chicago.
Taiwan.
You're in Chicago right now. Downtown
I'm in
Chicago.
Chicago. No. No.
You wouldn't. You'd be like. You wouldn't like. You wouldn't be able to answer them. You wouldn't answer them.
I would answer you in English.
Yeah, you'd be like, I don't understand.
I don't know. I can't help you.
Exactly. And that's the same reaction for them too. Like you assume they're speaking English without first asking, can you speak English?
Wait a minute. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because they teach English in school over there, fella.
They also teach English in China. It does not mean they want to talk to English to you.
That's true. All right. So much for that theory. Okay. Wait a minute.
In Japan, they will try their best to cater you because that's the culture. But it's actually frowned upon if you just came to me and speak a language that I don't understand or not my primary language. You came to my country, speak my language. Or at least try to, and I will try to cater to you after you tried. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
In fact,
yeah.
if you tried and you screwed up, I'll be even nicer to you.
Because you made the attempt,
You
right?
make that
you made the
attempt.
effort.
Mm-hmm. I know it's hard on you. You make that 10. I'll be like, don't worry about it. I speak English. Let's do something about that.
Okay,
It's the
listen.
courtesy.
All right, wait a minute. I got to do a little time out here.
Because
All
I
right, little
always
time
feel
out.
somebody's rude. Like if I'm walking the street, somebody come talk to me Chinese, I feel that's super rude. I will tell them I don't speak Chinese.
Okay. But yeah, but it wasn't like that at every place I stopped in, every little shop I went to, every restaurant I went. And I would say that my experience was really good. It was really good.
Outside of that, language issue.
Outside,
Look,
outside of that.
me and Eric, when we were DR, we were using a translator and trying to get people to help us talk that language. We don't assume that they can speak English. We try to, you know.
Okay. But okay.
And I think that's the courtesy because we went to their country. We can't assume that everyone is gonna be able to speak perfect that language and feel comfortable speaking it too. That's the different story too, right? Feeling comfortable speaking it. If they know that you have made that attempt that you're not comfortable, I'm okay with speaking a language that I am not comfortable to help you out. That's just kind of like I feel like that's probably why. Like a lot of people go to friends and then start speaking English to everybody, and friends will be like, "I'm just gonna ignore you." Right? Because like if you go to a place and then try to like at least say hi, to start with the hi in their language, like mercy, guten Tag, whatever, just get that first sentence out, and then go. I apologize. I don't know how to speak that language afterward. I just know how to say this, but can you help me out? Two different stories. But your idea, I also seen it before. Like, it's like I got purposely do something wrong to make you speak my language, try to explain to me, and then now I know. But that's kind of rude in a way.
Well,
I understand that you feel like he's being rude by ignoring you, but
yeah.
like the chat is saying that learning a second language is tough. Respect for the bilingual folks. I agree with Tony. Make an attempt to learn a little. People generally like when you try to meet them halfway. So real people generally surprised when American knows anything about any language or cultures. And that's what it is. If you tried even just a little bit, they will go the other way and help you out. I feel like that. I truly do. If I make an attempt, I try to use a translator and try to get it, and then they'll be like, yeah, it's fine. I can speak some English. Then that's okay. I'm just trying to give you my point of view. It's not like you have to.
Yeah, no, I know, I understand.
Because I see that a lot. Like when I go to Japan, I would just speak Japanese, and my wife will be speaking English, but then because I already speak Japanese, they will try to cater to my wife.
So I will tell you this. The multi or the diversity in Germany from when I was there 50 years ago till now is like a whole circle. Okay.
We're talking about 50 years. I mean, 50 years.
Yeah.
Think about 50-year US 50 years ago.
Yeah, but yeah. And I realize the time frame, the distance, and all this other stuff. But when I see, and I'll say that when I'll give a couple examples. When I see people that give me the appearance that they're Indian, like from India,
Okay.
speaking German,
Mm-hmm.
amazes me.
Why?
I don't know why.
You just assume that they were born in India.
I'm assuming they're only going to speak English or their dialect.
Yeah, if they're born there, then different story.
Yes, and it's like when I see or when I encountered and experienced an Asian girl with an English, not American English, with England English accents.
Yeah, if you're there long enough, you pick up the accent. Like in Taiwan, there's one very famous YouTuber. He talked about like major news and stuff like that. His channel is in English majority of the time. With Chinese subtitle, he speaks perfect Taiwanese and Chinese. He can speak Taiwanese with the correct accent, but he's black.
Yeah. Yes.
But nobody bat an eye because he's just there. Obviously, if you're in the country long enough, you got to pick up the accent, you got to pick up the language, you got to pick up the culture.
Yeah.
He's just there when he was very young, and then
he assimilated.
Yeah. So like nobody, I never thought it was weird because like if you think about this, right? When I come to America, everybody speak English. It's just as weird. Just as weird.
Okay, so when you came over from Taiwan, yes?
Mm-hmm.
You spoke some English?
No, zero English. I was talking to Eric about this yesterday because I live in the ghetto, like the hood, but because I don't know English, I don't even know what they're doing. Like I don't even know they're trying to beat the hood. I don't go out.
Okay.
Like I start going to school without speaking any English. I literally the first word I learned was bathroom. So that if I had to go, I can go bathroom. That was it. And regardless they say yes or no, I left. It takes a while. It does take a while. Okay. I was at home trying to read those kids book with like maybe like one sentence per page. Well, not even one sentence, one like few words per page. This is a red fire train or fire hydrant or something like that, That kind of stuff. And it takes a while to learn. So that does happen. But the whole main point is that you have fun. That was a good trip for you guys, I did, after I look at the picture, I was glad that I didn't go. But It
Oh,
will
you
happen
shouldn't be
awkward.
glad. No, okay, wait.
It will
You
be.
shouldn't
It
be
will
glad.
happen awkward. So.
Well, look at it. It's like this. When this first came around, and here's part of it. Other than me going there for my 50th wedding anniversary,
Mhm.
is because at the time when this came up several years ago,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't thinking about my 50th wedding anniversary.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And this is one of the biggest parts that at that time, and now secondary, but at that time, my when I learned that we had members in Europe,
Mm-hmm.
at the time, we had James, Jeff, Duncan, and Maurice.
Mm-hmm.
So I my whole goal initially was to try to meet those guys in the hangout.
Sure.
Okay, because I was never thinking about going over to Europe to meet those guys. All right,
Mm-hmm.
but in my thought in my thought process as well, man, these guys are members of the Legion. These guys live, across the Atlantic Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are, a guy in England, two guys in Germany, and the guy in the Netherlands. Man, how cool is that? How cool is that?
Sure.
And I'm thinking, I got to meet these. I got to make a connection with these guys. I got to meet them because I felt, and I still think, that they are important to the Legion, especially because they're so far away.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want them to think that they weren't thought about.
Sure.
Okay. So I wanted to make a connection and meet with them. Unfortunately, no, how I met Maurice, I was thinking of the Brady Bunch.
Huh.
Marsha, 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 Marsha. And I kept thinking, Marsha, Marsha, Maurice, 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 Maurice. And
Okay.
I kept typing that in. Maurice, Maurice, Maurice. I don't know how long I did that before he finally answered and said hello.
Okay.
And then once he said hello, I said, hey man, I got to meet you. We got to meet and hang out somehow, some way, some manner.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to do the same thing with Duncan.
Duncan.
And
Yeah,
but
Duncan
Duncan was
wasn't-
going through some
Yeah.
things. I think he was going through some medical things, number one. Number two, I think he was going through a promotion. He was getting some changes being
Mhm.
made in that. And then I missed meeting him twice. I just barely missed him. Just barely missed him. Like 2 minutes. By the time I saw his name, oh, I got to get in a hangout. By the time I got on, he was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But here was one of my biggest things was this. Here we had at the time, we were talking about the first meetup in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Here we had James coming all the way from Europe to come to the Arizona meet. And I said, wow, that is so damn cool. That is so damn cool. And I thought, man, he wasn't able to come because COVID was at the time and he was regulated, controlled by the airline industry and what was going on in the States with their policies and regulations, plus whatever country you're coming from, what their policy and regulations were.
Sure.
So that never happened.
Mm-hmm.
But I still kept it in the back of my mind.
Okay.
And then when he came to Miami, it was like, wow, came all the way from Europe. Now, true,
You mean
he
Texas?
also went to Texas to, visit his brother and visit his mom and stuff because mom was getting up in age and wanted to make sure he got a chance to see her.
Mm-hmm.
Cross her fingers, she's still healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But I still thought, man, here's this guy coming all the way from Europe and to be part of this and then continue on to Texas. I thought, man, that was so cool.
Okay.
And in the meantime, this plan of going to Germany was in the works.
Mm-hmm.
We had initially had a lot more people going, but things happen, right? Things come up. You can't make it. Something happens.
Yeah.
Something personal going on. Something with work. Something with family member.
Mm-hmm.
Something happens, But I, my thought process was, I got to go to Europe because this guy made the effort as a member at the time
Mm-hmm.
to come all the way over here to be part of the meet.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I got to go over there. And as it turned out, it was my 50th wedding anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
And being bumped out of Kentucky kind of made it a little easier to go that way,
Sure.
even though I got Kentucky scheduled for next year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and unfortunately, the plans went ahead. Some of the guys had left,
Mm-hmm.
and that that but that goes to show you that when like when you join a group like Shadow Smokers Legion,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know anybody really. Then you finally in chats in the hangout,
Mm-hmm.
you get to talk to them, you get to meet them, get to know them a little better, you develop a little relationship. And then when you go to the meetups, you get to actually meet them in person.
Right.
But it's not like a stranger meeting, because you made a connection in the chat, you've made a connection in the hangout. Okay, you're connecting the name with the face. Now you're seeing the person. Same thing with the people out on YouTube. When you read the chats, you can recognize the name.
Sure.
But if you haven't seen them, you still got the name in the back of your head.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, when you, and no matter what group, when you leave the group, that doesn't mean your connections end or your friendships end.
Well,
Yeah,
that depends on the situation.
yeah, that's true. That's true. That depends on the situation.
Mm-hmm.
But the the friendships and connections you make are still there.
That also
Okay.
depends on the situation.
Again, I agree. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But it was it was kind it was a it was a good time. It was nice to meet up with the guys.
Mm-hmm.
I was really hoping up to meet up I forgot the guy's name. Roughneck? I think it was Roughneck. I think he's from somewhere thereabouts in Netherlands or Germany or something like that.
Okay.
But he wasn't able to make it because he is in the military,
Okay.
and he had, military commitment. He couldn't break away. So, you know, that was that. But anyway, it was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good time.
Yeah, I'm glad. I looked at it. I was like, yeah, you guys have a good time over there. I'm glad that it wasn't great, and that's why I say I'm glad I wasn't there, because it would have been awkward, and it's kind of ruined it. So
Yeah. So I will tell you this: we happened to fall into two unexpected unexpected events.
okay.
One was with TDR.
Okay.
I think that I can't remember. This guy's name is Abe something. I can't remember his last name. Got a chance to meet him.
Mm-hmm.
I think this was in Nuremberg.
Okay.
Got a chance to meet him and talk with him and talk about cigars and stuff, which was nice. And I asked him about the cigar industry, and he says, you know what? He's been in it for a number of years, and he says, if I were to get in this right now, I think have to be a little crazy, because it's such a difficult thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure.
Um, So that was cool meeting him and talking a little bit about cigars. And then the other event was at a different day at a different lounge, and we just happened to walk in there, and an event was going on. It was from a small company or brand in Germany who gets their, I think they get their cigars from the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
I can't even remember. Can't even remember the name of the brand. But he did give out some cigars. So did the other guy, Abe from
Mhm.
PDR. He gave some cigars. It was like, so that was kind of nice, unexpectedly, of course, but they don't have many events.
I don't think smoking cigar is that. I don't think Germany is a smoking friendly place. So
It's very restricted, let's say.
yeah, it's not. A lot of countries are not smoking friendly.
But they are cigarette friendly.
Yeah, that's kind of different.
Yeah. Oh, hey, when you still see the cigarette machines mounted on the wall, you can walk up to them and put your money and get your cigarettes. Yeah, they're cigarette friendly.
It has to do with whether or not they have something that is also domesticated. So you can have a German brand of cigarettes,
Yes,
but not
yes.
necessarily German brand of cigars. And
That's true.
That makes the government think, wait, should we ban this too? Not be friendly with this too? Or also just leave it as is because that's also generating incomes for our country.
Yeah, I only know of two German brands that have their cigars. One is called Hemi,
Okay.
and I think Hemi, their primary business is rum,
Okay.
and somewhere along the line, they decided to get into the cigar business.
Okay.
So they do have a core line of cigars, and they also have the next tier up of level of cigars.
Okay.
And their core line is okay, not great, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
The next level up is, of course, expected to be better and should be better,
Okay.
and that was true. And the other brand, it was called Derringer, something like
I
that.
think I heard that name before.
Now,
The Derringer, not Hemi, but Derringer.
the Derringer. The reason this cigar is so unique and probably why it tastes so good is and I'll be honest with you, I'm biased about it. I'm biased. Is because the band is in green Seahawk colors. So even if that cigar tasted bad, it's going to taste good.
Okay.
All right.
I get it. Eventually we'll make a cigar with the green band on it. But ITS, I did give you a green hat, so.
But yeah, it.
Can you guys hear me from here?
No.
Here's the thing that I learned in Germany is that you cannot smoke inside the restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
but
How about now?
if they have an outside
You can hear from me?
cafe,
Everything's good?
table, patio setup, you can.
Yep.
You can. And I had gone to a restaurant and I'm eating, and my wife and I are eating at this restaurant, like in the beer garden area.
Mm-hmm.
And I finished eating, and I'm drinking my wine because I'm not drinking beer.
Okay.
And I pull out my cigar. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife says, "You can't smoke that here." I said, "Sure I can." I said, "I'm out in the open."
Mhm.
I said, "They got ashtrays on the tables."
Yeah, but it's all cigarette ashtrays.
Yes, yes, yes. So she says, no, but you can't smoke. I said, wait a minute, wait a minute. I said, take a deep breath. I said, you smell that? She goes, what? I said, smell. I said, there's cigarettes. There's somebody smoking cigarettes. And I said, right over there. I said, so if they can smoke a cigarette and not worry about bothering the people with their cigarette smoke, I could smoke a cigar.
It has to do with the strength of the smoke.
Yes, that's true. But I said, but I will do this much. I'm going to look at to see where the people are seated.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go to an area that's furthest away from them so I don't
You don't bother them with the smoke.
create an issue or become a problem for them.
Okay,
Okay. And I had to make sure which direction the wind was going
sure.
to make sure the wind is not blowing towards them, but away from them.
Okay.
And
But isn't it technically, if they blow towards them, it's also blowing away from them?
towards them, but past them, through them. Yeah. It's like upstream and downstream.
Right. You're still going
They
that
want to
way. You
be,
still
yeah.
past, it blows them away.
So ultimately, I didn't do that. My wife didn't want me to do that, and I didn't want to create a scene or anything. And I did ask.
Mm-hmm.
I did ask the waitress,
And the
the
result
the
was?
service person, and she said, "Yes, sure, if you want to, go ahead." All right. And then I asked the owner because the owner was out there talking around,
Mhm.
talking to people, and he came up to me and said, "How was the food and all this other stuff?"
Sure.
I said, "Oh, the food was excellent. I really enjoyed it. It was good." I said, "Can I smoke a cigar here? It's okay." Go, "Oh, yeah, sure, of course. Go ahead, enjoy yourself." I said, "I can smoke right here where I'm at." He goes, "Oh, yeah, sure, go ahead."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Okay," but I didn't. But I didn't. I
It
moved to a
wouldn't be a
different.
good time for you anyway, because you just can't land the cigar on that thing. That thing has a little hole there, like it doesn't land well.
Yes, but anyway, yeah. You know what? Their ashtray, it had like a lid.
Yeah. So that the wind doesn't blow the ash all over the place.
Yeah, yeah. And so you take the lid off. That is, I mean, you can tap your cigar in there, but you can't
You can't rest
rest
on
your
it.
cigar
Yeah.
in. And I tried, of course, and I knew it wasn't going to work. I knew obviously it wasn't going to work, but I had to test it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I put the cigar in the cigarette holder thing, and of course, it didn't work.
Not to mention, like the cigarette thing is like a small canister, so one cigar will fill up that entire thing.
Oh yeah. Well, here's the cool thing. Mine was made out of ceramic,
Okay.
and it looked like an apple.
Okay. So it looks nice. Yeah.
It looked nice. It looked nice.
Yeah. They tried to
Okay.
do everything that make the place not looking like a smoking place. A lot of places that has this whole stigma about smoking, so they try to make it as nice as possible. I get it. I get it. It does happen. Like in Japan, you can only smoke in the smoking room. Like smoking in the street, like public, is frowned upon too.
Okay, so another thing that I liked was that, you know, and bigger cities, and I can only speak of Chicago and probably New York has the same thing. You have the restaurants, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then they also have outdoor seating,
Okay.
tables, couple chairs. Of course, they have this in this one particular town I went in Nuremberg. They
Okay.
have that too. But this is what I noticed a big difference between the Chicago people and I want to say the New York people because they're almost kind of the same big city movement and
Sure.
vibe and stuff. When I went to downtown Chicago and I ate at this restaurant, we ate outside. People were eating fast.
Mm-hmm.
waitresses or waiters are coming out asking, oh, of course, the pervert, how are things going? Is the food okay? They leave a little bit later to come back. How's it going? Do you need a refill? Do you need this? Do you want that? Okay, yeah, how's it going? And then 10 minutes later, are you ready? Are you ready for the bill? Are you ready to check
Mhm.
out? Or and I get it. I get it. I understand it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you want to move the people because that means more money in that seat, right? I get it. But I didn't get that feeling. I didn't get that vibe where I was at, sitting outside, eating and drinking. Uh, and the person only came out initially once just to ask us if everything was fine, how was the food, and did we need anything else? And if you did, just raise your hand and wave it, and they will come in and check on you. Other than that, they left you alone.
Yeah, because you're outside smoking. They're not gonna, they're not gonna in a rush to kick out more people that
No,
smokes and
wait,
put
wait,
more
no.
people that smokes there.
This, you know, we did. Yeah, this is one of the times where we didn't smoke.
You didn't smoke, but those places are meant for people either don't mind the heat or want to smoke. Those are not their primary seat. They want their primary seat, the prime, to be replaced, turnover fast.
Okay.
Right? Because those people who sit outside probably just gotta order a drink.
Yeah. Yeah. And I saw a lot of people do that. They didn't order food. They ordered a beer. They ordered a wine. Mostly that's what I saw.
Yeah, so it's small money. They
Beer.
don't care if that turns fast.
Yeah. Beer, wine, coffee.
Mhm.
Coffee. And when I saw somebody drinking coffee, I thought of you, Nails. I said,
Eric,
there's Eric. I said, there's Eric having his espressos. I sure
Yeah.
did.
Hey, Eric, I had an idea today while I was lighting up this thing. You know how cigars has those shaggy foot?
Uh-huh.
Why don't they just replace with a piece of cedar on top?
What?
Where the exposed part, instead of it being exposed, just put a small piece of cedar.
I mean, like a small little footband.
Like, roll the cedar into the end of it. So instead of exposed tobacco, instead of exposing the wrapper, and you have this shaggy part that only have the binder, put the cedar over it.
What's the
Like a
point?
cat,
Cigar-
like a
the
cedar
cigar is
cat.
still gonna have a shaggy foot.
Like a cedar cat.
Like a cedar foot. We're talking about shaggy foot. So the wrapper is cut. There's only binder and filler at the end. Just a little beginning.
So I won the appeal.
Oh, you did? I told you.
So they're just age restricted.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But you know what I'm talking about, right? A shaggy foot cigar that has a little bit at the end. That's the wrapper is cut off.
Okay.
You just have binder and filler.
Mhm.
Why didn't they just put a piece of cedar on there?
What's the difference?
Now you're lighting up a cedar.
Yeah, but then you're gonna be the
Yeah,
cedar.
that's a big ass cedar though. Like you can smoke cedar that long?
No. Just the FUD. Just that exposed part.
Yeah, some of them is fucking long as fuck.
We don't have to make it as long as fuck.
I'm just saying, like this.
And what's wrong with smoking a cedar?
It's wood.
Do you not smoke your meat with wood?
Shut the.
That's
It's flavor, right? You're doing for flavor.
Get on him on this one, Val. Get on him.
No,
Fuck, man.
it's an idea. It's an idea. Like, why didn't they just put a small piece of cedar? Like, the cedar don't have to be super thick. It could be super thin. Super thin. So it doesn't generate a lot. But it's a cedar.
But then you still could see the exposed foot. There's no point in that.
No, but then you get the cedar flavor.
Ain't nobody gonna fucking. Ain't
It's like
nobody
lighting
gonna
up
smoke.
with cedar spill.
You know,
No. Because when you use the cedar steel, you use the flame. You don't use the wood.
Well, it's still burning the wood. You're still puffing the air.
Yeah, but you're not. Okay, man.
you know, sometimes Tony, I wonder about you.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Thank
you know, you can shave this so thin you can see through it, right?
That's not the.
You know, you can shave cedar wood so thin that you can see through it.
Yeah, because what you're gonna spend more money for people to shave it for you?
Well, no, it's obviously you can get those. And you just roll it with it, cut it up. That's it.
They don't roll it with it. You know, they put it on afterwards. You know that,
You
right?
could either or. Yeah, either or. It's an idea.
It's not a good idea.
You don't know that until you tried it. You don't know. You don't know.
Yeah, first people gonna do that's what they gonna do, man.
No, they light it with it.
They ain't nobody gonna light it with it, bro.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
Oh,
There are people who doesn't know what to do with it. Like, for example, people get those leaf by Oscar that has a leaf over it. They will light those leaves too.
But the thing is,
Hey.
like, they do that on purpose. It's different.
Hey,
No,
I
they don't
did
know.
that.
Yeah.
They don't know.
So
I
if I
didn't
put
know.
a cedar in the front on purpose, they will light it up on purpose.
Hey, look at. I did both of those.
Cheers.
I did both of those. You got those long cedar wraps over the cigar.
Mhm.
I never knew.
That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to light it up.
I did like I smoked the goddamn thing.
No,
Tastes
you light it up and
terrible.
you take it off. You take it off afterward.
Well, I didn't know that.
He didn't know.
But that's the thing.
problem.
If I give you a control amount of it, you don't have to take it out. It's on
Look
there.
at, I'm,
You light it
look
up.
At, look at, I'm talking about a really small, thin, fine footband of cedar. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, and just light it up with it.
That probably won't be too bad. Not like I did. I smoked half of that goddamn sleeve.
No, I'm talking about like something this much. That's it.
Use the sleeve to light your cigar.
Well, I didn't know what the hell it was for. I just thought it was. I thought it was a cigar. I said, what the hell is this?
Or something like you know how you have a shaggy foot, right? So if you cut up something like this, hold on. You cut out something like this thin, and then
Yeah,
you
like
bend the
string.
bottom right at the end of it, and then you light it up. This got cedar, and you don't have to puff it.
No, you still got to puff it.
Oh no, you're just puffing to light it up because there's so little. By the time you light it up, that whole thing burns. It's gone.
Okay, Mr. Science. I'm just saying.
You never know. You never know. I'm just saying it will be kind of cool. I think
What's going on, everybody?
it will be kind of cool. I think.
The problem is you think.
Everything starts off with I think.
Stop trying to invent the wheel, man. Just ride the wheel.
No, we invent the wheel. Hi, Paul. Algorithm brought me here. Hi, everyone.
The algorithm brought him here.
Maybe
What's
they
going
don't
on,
want to
Paul?
incorporate cedar in their blend. I don't know. But cedar in the blend is so normal. That's why you put your cigar in a cedar tray.
I don't think that's what he meant.
Part of the
Okay.
PI release a new cigar. It will be educated on consumer about it. It will be unique tray for something to drive the word by mouth spreading on the cigar. Yes. It's all about education. Try something new, whatever. You don't know. Hey, when somebody start with a Mexican standard dish, they go like, I think this will be a good idea, and turn out to be half good, half bad.
Yeah, that's
And now it's
different, right?
good.
You try. Yeah, that's different when you try tobacco. You trying to smoke cedar.
And
Okay, bud.
well, you know,
Ah.
people can wrap like stupid marijuana over their cigar. You can't wrap cedar. A really, really thin that you can see through cedar.
I don't think you can wrap marijuana. I mean, I guess you can if you have a leaf.
People did that, like a marijuana cigar, right?
Yeah, but they did not they make it into a cigar, not fucking wrap on a cigar.
I mean, because that's a butt, right? That's tiny.
yeah,
I don't know.
still the thing is like those things are smokable.
It's
I mean,
not
I don't know.
smokable until they tried it that they thought it was smokable. Come on, man. Everything start with I
What?
think. Right?
Anyway.
Everything start with I think, just like Tide Pod, you know, the I think, and then tried it was a bad idea. But then at least they tried it.
Don't you see what I mean?
But
Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just ride the wheel, bro.
No. Well, someone had to invent the wheel to start with, right?
Yeah, don't try to reinvent it though.
Just let Jesus take the wheel, okay?
No, because Jesus will tell you to learn how to fucking drive.
Anyway,
sir?
I want to know.
Favorite cigar of the
Paul
week,
smoke
the
cigars?
ITS in the shadow.
So I didn't hear you. What did you say?
Oh no, does Paul smoke cigars because the algorithm brought him here?
I don't know. Paul, did you smoke cigars? Because he said light it up earlier. What's you guys' favorite cigar of the week? I've been smoking ITS every single day, so I can't even tell you which one's my favorite anymore.
It's the fucking ITS. What the fuck you mean?
This is the first cigar I smoked this week, I think.
You know, after I smoke so much ITS, a lot of cigar tastes lighter to me.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
No, it's to me it's actually other cigar tastes different. Surprisingly, right?
It's just lighter to me now. Like I'm smoking a Romeo and Juliet, the Titan. This one's it's got like a medium to medium plus strength.
Romeo's fucking light anyway.
No, it's got the strength, but it's not a lot of flavor. It's not a lot of flavor. I taste like some woodiness, some coffee, and some baking spice, but like it was not a lot of it. It's not a lot of it.
Fuck you, Martine.
Fuck you.
Oh, look at them.
Because you, I bought that fucking chair for your ass.
And you're not even there. But the thing is that even if you're there, you're missing one microphone.
No, I have planned. I bought it already.
You bought it already, but it's not there. It's not hooked up two microphone, two sides, man.
Well, now the thing is like, no, it's here, but I have a problem.
What's the problem?
The problem, I need another part to make it work. So that's why I was looking at my phone so intensely the past hour.
Oh, no.
Well,
Man.
it's okay because Val was talking the entire hour.
But Val's
Yeah, so,
but Val's story obviously is gotta take an hour. Every time Val talks a story, it's gotta be an hour. So you gotta dedicate an hour.
Fine. We already know.
Yeah.
the thing is like, I'm missing this.
Joint,
Yeah, to like, yeah. So
pivot.
to pivot. So dude, I did not know when you spend $100 on a fucking professional boom arm thing, fucking shit.
It only tilts. It doesn't bend.
Yeah, but no, that's not my. I never held a boom arm that's so heavy.
Yeah, they're fucking heavy, bro.
Holy, dude, this thing weighs so much. I was
And?
like, because usually I buy cheap ones and they're like fucking featherweight, right? Whatever.
Oh, I have
Right.
one that literally needs a counterweight to hold it down.
So,
Bro,
comes with a
this
bag.
thing, yeah. Oh my god. I was carrying. I was like, there's no fucking way a boom arm is this fucking heavy.
No, because some stuff are heavy. Like boom arm doesn't mean you only can hold boom. You can hold other stuff.
Yeah, but I
the
just
one that comes
Yeah, I have one that's
Up,
super heavy. I know
over.
exactly what you're talking about. It needs a counterweight to hold it.
it's fucking wild. But
But
I
I never
have
thought-
it.
hey,
I have
okay.
it ready. I'm just missing one fucking few parts.
I never thought I'd spend $80,000 and not have pair on the roof and then get called brokey the same night.
Damn.
So today I changed it, and now I have panel roof too.
Well, welcome to the real world.
Shut up.
Anyway. Trend. So does the mic come like up and over you?
It's gonna be.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
So it's gonna be coming up
Well,
over us. So when you sit, we
Why do you
talk.
do that? Why do you do that?
What do you mean? Why do I do that?
Why don't we just have the unified
If he
setup?
wants
Like you
to-
have one
if
arm
he
that's
wants to
there,
be
just put
fucking
another arm the
different.
other side.
He wants to be
Let me have to
fucking
buy
different.
two fucking mic.
Yes,
No,
you have
I
two
don't want
mic.
to. I don't want two mic.
Well, right now, don't you have two mics?
Yeah, but the other mic is not the same.
All right, let me tell you. If you decided to tilt your microphone like this down in the center, it's not gonna catch both.
No. You don't. The way I set it up, it will catch both. What are you talking about?
How
Because
do you
this
know?
literally you have to
How do
talk
you
to
know?
this circle right here.
Trust me, I'm making it work.
Okay. Okay.
I fucking totally forgot about the adjustment ball shit.
I
so.
can't believe that you didn't buy two mic, Brokey.
Don't make me, yo.
No, was that, you won't.
With that fucking whole setup and shit.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
Watch
won't.
when this shit don't work, you will see another fucking mic.
I better.
I
He's
could
gonna
use
try
my
it.
I could use my other mic, but it's not the same, so it just fuck up with the setup.
See, right here,
See,
right
you
here,
understand,
right
you
here.
won't-
You won't.
Yeah, the thing is like Joey, that shit don't work for me. I'm not fucking Tony. I'm not
What's
Brokey.
gonna happen is that every time he's gonna test it out, I'm like, I can't hear you. Can't hear you.
So hold on. In order for you to sit back that far, you've got a fucking big ass TV where you can see the chat.
Yes.
I figured that.
He couldn't see the chat yesterday.
Yeah, because the chat was on this side. Now the chat is on that side. It's fine.
Okay.
So, yeah. It's got a whole fucking professional setup
I know.
You
in
should
a,
see.
in a lounge setting, bro.
You should see, bro. When you come, you like, damn.
Oh, yeah. I'll be there not this Saturday, but the next.
No, he'll be there. He looks right. Damn. Look to the left. Damn.
It'll be fucking the 5th of July, right?
It's a Saturday?
Let's see.
Yeah, Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday is 5th of July. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll be there then.
Uh-huh.
So with that said, that day everybody should bring a July 4th cigar.
I ain't gonna bring shit.
I'm gonna smoke my American by Jason Newman on 4th of
There we
July.
go. There we go. You never know. July 5th, we might have earthquake and all that stuff. You know, you never know.
Is that what they're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Who's it? Oh, okay.
Who's
Only,
saying-
only in Iran. There's gonna be an earthquake only in Iran.
No, that already happened. That already happened. Okay,
Again.
that already happened.
Again.
That already happened. I watched somebody who were like doing this whole analysis. They're like, there's only 6 holes. What happened? Did we miss? And they go, actually, they didn't. They missed 4 out of like 14. Got a Pledge of Allegiance 2024 on standby. Yeah, I got it too. I'm gonna smoke. You know what? I'm kind of interested in the new size. I wonder how that new size is.
Nice. I'm gonna see if I can find that one.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that, but yeah. I'm gonna see if I can find it.
Yeah.
You know where you can find it, Martin? You know where you can find it?
At Elite.
They call it fucking Eric Lounge.
Oh, Eric's Lounge.
Aris Lounge, because Eric doesn't
It's
smoke
the
any other
Midnight
cigar anymore,
Cigar.
so he's got plenty of
Midnight
old
Cigars
cigars.
Lounge.
Eric doesn't smoke anything else anymore. See, here's the
I
thing.
know.
Eric can be smoking anything else and call that Pledge of Allegiance, and nobody
Hey,
will know.
you know what? Eric, you'll be saving so much fucking money on cigars, bro.
I have not bought any cigar. Why do you think I buy this?
I
whole
know. Exactly. Your $3,000 budget for the month because you haven't bought cigars.
thing? Yeah, I know.
Where do you think I got the budget to buy a car?
Right? Right?
Cigar
It
budgets
feels-
are scary. If I don't buy cigar for 1 month, I can go buy a car.
It's
Right.
like, I don't know, man. Like, it feels kind of good not buying cigars.
I don't know. I still buy cigar. It's just not the same amount. Not the same amount.
I mean, yeah. like I've cut down my spending a lot. Like I'll buy 2 cigars instead of 4 cigars or whatever.
Well, it's not a budgetary decision.
For me, it is. I got to save money, bro.
It's a budgetary decision, Eric.
It doesn't really. What Chetone, tell me what changed from, because we paid for the ITS.
Mhm.
Right? Before the ITS release, we were still buying cigars.
Right.
What the fuck changed?
What the fuck changed? Now you need 2 microphones, 2 cameras, 2 chairs, a table.
Yeah, but okay. For the month, right? For the month that I don't spend on cigars, everything that I bought is still not the budget of the cigar that we were spending before.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But then, like, that camera would.
Yeah, but it's still not like a budgetary decision.
It's still budgetary. So you'd rather get a camera than 3 boxes of cigars.
I still could do both.
But you won't because it's a budgetary.
It's a budgetary decision because of fucking the FX. Okay?
Yeah. So it is a budgetary decision.
But I don't need the FX.
It will still be a budgetary decision because if you didn't get FX, you still need 2 cameras.
Yeah, I already have 2 fucking phones that cost $1,200 each.
And it's still a budgetary decision because you need to use that 2 phones.
But I already have it. I owned it for years.
I know that. But it still be a budgetary decision.
No.
I think you just see cigar budget differently. That's all. And we all did. We all did. I still buy cigar. I still buy cigar.
I don't. The thing is, like, it's not that I don't want to buy a cigar. It's just,
You didn't feel the need. You're not
it's not,
recording.
no, it's not about the need, because we never need to buy a fucking cigar.
Well, if you got a review, you better buy them.
I think if we review, I think we still don't need to buy a cigar. But it just,
Yeah,
as of right now, there's nothing really interesting.
I think you're becoming more selective in those cigars that you buy.
Yeah, I only buy $50 and up now.
Oh my God.
Wow.
you gotta know that once you have your own cigar
It's a different thing.
and you made it the way you want it, you kind of don't have to go out there and find another cigar. Hopefully that's the way you want it. That makes sense? If, for example, Val, if you can make a perfect old fashioned, nobody like it's exactly the way you want it, exactly like every single taste on spot. You wouldn't want to go out there and buy cigar mix. You don't old fashioned mix.
No.
It's the same idea. It's the same idea. So we made a cigar that we're okay with smoking it every day. Literally, we're smoking that every day. And because that's already taking away that cigar time, you really don't feel the need to find another cigar to smoke. And if we want variation, that variation became one of the ideas that we might have to make in the future.
So when you say variation, you're talking about the cigar type,
For example,
Like-
I'm smoking.
like a Figurado,
No.
Robusto, Corona.
No. Let's say, for example, if I smoke ITS, that's Maduro. And I keep smoking Maduro. It's like, you know what? I really want to smoke a Habano. Right? But I don't know what Habano I want to smoke. But then you ask yourself, why don't I just go make a Habano exactly the way I want it? So I don't have to spend the money and figure out whether or not that's the one I like exactly.
Yes, but here's the thing. if you get so accustomed and comfortable with just smoking your cigar, and you're not going to be completely happy with the other cigars that you smoked, and you're channeling yourself off. You're closing yourself off. You have to
No,
go. You have to go and buy the other cigars.
no. That's not what I mean.
What do you mean?
The need to smoke another cigar became research rather than enjoyment.
The need to smoke other cigars became work. It became
Research
work.
became research.
Oh, research, work, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. I get that.
Right? Because every cigar I smoke now is like, all right, this leaves that. What is missing for me? I wish there was more this. I wish more that. I wish, you start to wish, you start to create your wish list. But it's no longer like, ooh, this is really good. This is interesting. Because now you're like, what do I gotta do to beat this? What do I gotta do to get me the flavor that I want? And it became like that. It is slowly becoming like that. Every time I smoke a lighter cigar, I'm like, okay, this is light. Why? Right? I will see an interesting blend. I'll buy it, like I did, and I'll smoke it. I'm like, okay, this tastes like that. This tastes like that. And especially if I buy another Maduro and it tastes a certain way, I immediately see the flaw that they didn't try to fix, and say, why didn't they just do that? And obviously for them, whoever blended, that was perfect. That was fine. That was to their palate, to their satisfaction. Right? So that's fine. But now I'm smoking a cigar that I am not 100% happy with. I wish it's a little bit about this. I wish it's a little bit more of that. Why didn't it just shoot this? It became like that. And I'm not saying that there's no better cigar. There is. But when you smoke a better cigar, again, study session, basically. What did they use? Why did it taste so good? I mean, obviously, some of them we know why. Right? We know why it's so good. Like, it's like asking, Eric, why is the tobacco opus used so good? Is that even a question? So it became like that. But if I'm go out, am I gonna smoke out a cigar? Yeah, I am. Because my focus wouldn't be on a cigar, it would be on a conversation. But if I'm at home, I'm sitting outside my deck. If I smoke another cigar, I'm studying. You see the problem? So now, purchasing cigar became very selective. That I'll only purchase the cigar that the blend interests me.
Okay. All right. So are you searching for cigars that are going to be similar?
I'm not searching any cigar that is particularly Maduro anymore. Like,
No. Okay. No. Okay. Look at. So I'm smoking you're smoking the ITS.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So are you gonna be searching for cigars that have similar ITS
Not
traits into
necessarily.
it?
I'm searching for it. If I don't want to smoke an ITS, what would I want to smoke?
Maybe like a Shadowborn.
So then you're gonna go to the opposite extreme.
It doesn't have to be opposite extreme, because opposite extreme does not mean I like it.
No, but
Right? Like if I was smoking a Connecticut, I need a Connecticut that's really, really creamy, really, really cedary, really, really nutty. It goes perfect with latte or coffee.
So okay, so you're picking a cigar based on what you're going to be pairing it with,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to not pairing it at all and just drinking plain water.
Well, I can be drinking soda, whatever, but like, you know, that's what is my ideal Connecticut? What is my ideal Habano? What is my ideal natural?
Okay, so all right, so look at so now you found those ideals.
I have
Just
not
an
found it.
example. I'm just saying. You find your ideal Habano.
Mm-hmm.
Are you done smoking other Habanos? Are you only going to get that one Habano from now on?
No, because you're not gonna find your ideal Habano. You gotta find a Habano that's very close to your ideal, and then now you have to find how to fix this to your ideal. And once you have that, now you have your next cigar. Okay, all right. When's the last time you see Steve Saka smoking any other cigar?
I never paid attention.
He always only smoke his own shit.
Yeah, he only smokes his own stuff.
I've never paid attention.
Why? Because he makes all the cigar to his ideal. He said he makes cigar
True.
that he want to smoke.
True.
And that is usually the problem with once you start blending cigar for yourself.
Right.
You if you're smoking other tobacco, other blend, is because you're looking for that ideal. Right? Because like we got to a point where we can't really criticize other cigars now. I can say the cigar is not for me. Yeah, it's not my ideal cigar.
Yeah.
It's missing this and that. It's too much this or that. So whatever cigar I'm smoking now is that. It's smoking. It's a study session. Quite the opposite. If the cigar brand owner go to a lounge, they will buy other cigars to support the lounge, and they will smoke other cigars. So they will smoke other stuff when
I don't
they're
know.
outside.
I never saw a brand owner smoke other people.
I have. Especially
have.
Lewis, when he goes to the lounge, he will smoke other people's cigar.
Yeah, I have.
I've seen it.
I don't think if I'm in a lounge, I don't think I'd be smoking other people's cigars.
Well, look at if
If you go to the lounge, you have to support the lounge. So you obviously have to buy other cigars.
I'm not gonna smoke it though.
Well, but you're there.
but you're
I'm still not gonna smoke it. I probably just put it somewhere so people can't even see it. Tell the truth.
Yeah, but you're at the lounge and you're supporting others. You smoke it, so you have to bring it back.
Yeah, that's fine. I can do my own comfy home, my own privacy. Yes, but I wouldn't do it publicly.
all right. So okay, Eric, here we go. Here we go. You're at a cigar event.
Uh-huh.
You're the brand owner.
Okay. I wouldn't
And-
go. What do you mean by like cigar?
Okay,
event, though?
wait a minute. Here we go. Let me finish my little story here. So you're at Martine's Exotic Cigar Lounge.
Yeah.
I say that because of the poll, okay? So look at it. You're there. Your brand is being represented. You're smoking your cigar. You're smoking the ITS, okay? And you're promoting your cigar. And here I come talking to you, and I say, Eric, what other cigars do you like to smoke besides your cigar?
I'd be
What
like
do-
the one that I'm testing right now.
But you smoke, okay, but you're gonna say what?
The next one.
You're gonna tell me you don't like smoking Opus?
Well, if the question like, do you like Opus? I'd be like, yes.
No. I didn't ask you if you liked Opus.
Uh-huh.
I asked you what other cigars do you like to smoke?
The next one.
Now well, come on, that's a look at. I know. You know, if I'm the brand owner, I'm having my cigar in my hand that I'm promoting. This is my brand. I'm proud of my brand. You know, I got my jacket
No.
on. I got my logo.
Val. I think you
What?
asked the question wrong. Let me rephrase that question for you.
Okay,
All right. So Eric,
help me out, Tony. Help me out.
Martin made a
Because
new brand
Martine ain't
called
doing nothing there. Let me drown.
Martin. Let's say Martin created a brand called Martin Sexy Pole Dance.
All
right. And then he had a cigar event, and you're there. Are you not gonna smoke his cigar?
Yeah, I'm gonna buy.
I would support him to. I would buy his cigar. Yes.
You will not smoke it. You will not smoke it.
Probably not. I probably put it in my pocket or something.
But it's his event.
What's your point? Am I not allowed to not smoke the cigar?
It's
One
rude.
cigar buys 1 second of dancing.
It's rude. It's like when we go to Cigars Daily and Tim refused to smoke your cigar.
That's fine.
It's rude.
Okay. Well, I don't get it. But okay.
I think you will. You're just saying you won't, but I think you will. You might take off the band and smoke it, but you will smoke it.
All right, so look at. So here we go. Here's another thing. So I'm at your event there. Okay.
Tony is right. I probably would take off the band and smoke it. Yes.
He just
If it-
doesn't want to be
it-
caught
it-
on picture smoking
If
another
it-
person's cigar.
If it come to shove, yes, I would rip off the band and smoke it. Yes. Like how I do now.
But you will. And that way, if you don't like it, you put it down, it's fine. If you like it, you're smoking it, that's fine too. That's the Hemi?
Yep, that's a Hemi.
Pretty cool. Yeah,
So-
I know where Eric is coming from. But I think the right way is to smoke it. But you know, if you don't want to be caught representing it, you will take it off the band. You'll still smoke it. I will smoke it. In fact, I'll smoke it with Martin while he's pole dancing.
So who's that?
Who's saying that? I can't even see his name.
What? Who?
'Cause-
The red one? The red one's Hotbox, Joey.
Oh. Yeah, Joey, when you get the Oro Blanco, come talk to me.
You gotta smoke that damn Oro Blanco. I do have it. You're gonna caught me without Oro Blanco? Jeez. How dare you?
All right. So here's the deal here. It's your event. I'm at your event. I got a tray. All right. I got my tray. I got some cigars in there. I got some of your cigars in here. Plus, I got a C52 from Drew Estate in there, a Melanio V from Oliva, a Padron in there. Okay. And you see what I got. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say to me?
Smoke the ITS.
I was like, the ITS look good.
That's it.
Well, I'm pretty much blind the rest. I'm gonna become you, Val.
No, no. So because this happened to me. This happened to me. So I have these cigars in there, and when I see the person coming towards me, I'm thinking, do I hide these cigars, or do I leave them where they're at?
No. You
No,
don't
but you're a
hide them
consumer.
because
You can smoke whatever you want.
yeah, it's yours, Val. Like there's
Okay,
no-
okay. So the person comes up to me and says, "Oh, what you get?" And I told him, "Oh, look at, I I got 3 ITS. I got an Oliva, and I got a Drew Estate, and I got a Padron.
Nice choice.
It's your brand, your brand, your brand, your brand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? That Opus is really good. I smoke that every now and then.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that.
You wouldn't say that.
No. I would
Why
like
not?
I would like Val smoke the ITS is a great cigar. I would tell you, I would
as a consumer, I as a smoking person amongst the millions of people
yes,
am interested to know,
yes.
other than your cigar, what
But
other cigars
if you're
do
at
you
my
like to
event,
smoke?
I'm gonna try to convince you the best I can to smoke the ITS.
You don't have to
I'd be like
convince. Wait,
I tell the truth,
wait,
the ITS is better than the Opus.
wait.
Whatever
You
that's
don't
sitting
wait.
in there.
You don't have to convince me because I got 3 of your cigars.
Yeah,
in
but
my tray.
the thing is that you hand me the trade. All I see is ITS.
You got blinders on, buddy.
No, but that's true though. If you're at an event and
Put it this way, Val, if you went to a Fuente event, you grab 3 Opus, 3 random cigar. When you go to him, he'd be like, "That's a great Opus. Great choice, buddy."
I expect that.
He would
Right.
not comment no other ones.
because whatever comment on the other one is wrong.
I don't know about that.
All right, if I praise other cigars, that's fine, right? Let's say
We do. We do praise other cigars, yes.
right. But if it's a cigar that we don't particularly like, then what? Are we supposed to say that's good too?
No. You're going to say, "Oh, well, that's your selection. That's okay."
Right. I'll be like, that's a good selection. But if you ask me which one I'm gonna choose, then the result should be obvious because we don't blend a cigar that we don't like. Right? We blend a cigar that we like. So obviously we gotta recommend that to everybody. Right?
Over everything.
Over everything. Especially if it's our event.
If it is not
I would be interested to know. Because I know you like your cigar. I know you like it because it's your cigar.
Okay, Val, I don't know if it caught me saying this, but at the event, some people walking around with a different cigar. Did you hear what I say?
No, I probably not.
I screamed, wrong cigar. I said, wrong cigar, guys. Wrong cigar.
I would look at it as I would basically tell a person, hey, you can smoke these anytime, but I would like you to smoke the ITS. That way, if you have any comments, concerns, or suggestions, you can tell me about it while I'm here.
And here's the thing, right, Val? You're asking that question premature. And I'll explain why it's premature.
Tell me why you think that. Tell me why you think that.
If I'm a brand and I have 14 different cigars, then that will be the correct question to kind of ask me. You came over with a tray, and I see you have some Connecticut, you have some Habano, you have some Naturals. And I'll be like, oh, I see you have Padron there. You like Padrons? Padron's actually not bad, but have you tried this other cigar that I made?
Well, that's a good answer. That's a good answer, but that's not the answer I'm looking for.
No, but then I will be able to talk about other cigars now because I have something to compare to. But if I don't have anything to compare to, I'm going to leave those alone.
Well, it's different now. It's different now.
Right? If you have a whole tray of just Habanos, Maduros, Maduro with ITS in there, and you come to me, I'll be like, have you tried the ITS yet? You should smoke it, that one, and let me know how you think of that one compared to the one that you have in there. I'll make you. I will make you have that answer for me, not my answer to you. Because whatever comment that I give, about another brand will be wrong for my own event. I'll be like, that's nice cigar, but I think obviously we came out with a cigar that's a competition in a way, right? In a way, it's a competition. So
Yeah.
so I will say to try mine over the competition anytime. I am not gonna down talk my own brand.
That's impossible.
And I don't expect you to. But I'm interested in knowing what other cigars do you like smoking? Now, I know you like your cigar. I
Mhm.
know that's a given.
Right, but
I would if your specific question is what other cigar do you like enjoying? I would say I wouldn't say brand no more. I would say wrappers.
some
See,
Connecticut
now,
good, some natural is
okay,
good.
Yeah,
okay,
like some
see,
gonna get good. You know, like this Maduro, Tabano's
wait,
fine.
okay, see, now you did a total different transition.
Right.
Yes, there's a way of answering things without tossing in another brand. I would say.
Because like, let's say, Val, if you have 3 different brands of natural in there, right? Let's say that's the case. Your tray has 3 different naturals in there. You ask me to choose one. If I choose one, then I take partial for one cigar over the other 2 brands. So like if you have Espinosa, Oliva, and whatever, and I say Espinosa is great, I smoke that a lot. And then the next talk is that Tony likes Espinosa over Oliva.
It's like the thing is like now we have to watch what we see because a lot of online is very skewed and people are very skewed. They could turn things now.
Mhm.
You know,
And I don't particularly worry about that. But the thing is that Val, you're saying that is at my event. And my event, my job is to make sure as many people
like
try the
our
ITS as
job is
possible
literally to get you smoke our cigar.
and get a feedback, get everybody, make sure everybody's taken care of within the confines of ITS. But if I'm just hanging out with friends, different story.
Let me chime in. So there was this cigar event that I went to, and I was gonna go straight into the humidor. But the guy there that was there with the brand, he had a full table full of different cigars. And I said, well, you know what? What do you have? He's like, okay, well, we've got this Maduro, blah, blah, blah. He explained the cigar. I said, okay, I'll get one of those. He's like, have you tried this one? I said, I actually haven't tried any of the brands or any of your brand. He's like, okay, well, this cigar, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, I'll try one. This cigar, blah, blah, blah. I ended up buying one of each because he was representing his brand and telling me tasting notes and wrappers and the blend in the cigar. So I was like, you know what? I have no need to go to the humidor now because you recommended these cigars that sound pretty good. So I'm going to try them out. So if you have a full line of stuff, you're obviously going to try to get people to smoke what you have.
Val, I think the best way to explain this is I recommend you and I implore you to go watch some Michael Herclaus videos, interviews, and anything. He will not talk about any other brand of cigar at all.
I think like that's majority of brand owner. When you ask them about another brand, they would take it and turn it back.
They will politely sway
They
away from
will
that
politely sway away.
because no matter what you say is wrong. I can praise it, it will be wrong because I'm praising another brand over on other brands.
If
Well,
you're a
if
shop
I-
owner, it'd be different, right?
But
But
if I'm bashing it, it will be wrong too.
if you
Maybe my
specifically come-
concept, maybe my concept is unrealistic. I don't know.
it
Yeah,
very is.
because you're looking at a consumer perspective to a reviewer. That I understand at that time. I don't know if I'm just a reviewer, then yeah.
Yeah,
But now we have our own brand, so you got to protect your brand. And the whole thing of coming out with a cigar is that you want as many people to try it as possible. So why will you sway them to a different cigar when your goal is for them to try your cigar? Right? I get you want
There's
other
no other
cigar.
goal.
I get your interest in other natural. I get your under Connecticut, and I guarantee I'll talk more about it if I had a natural or I had a Connecticut.
Yep.
I'll be like, that cigar's not bad, but have you tried this? Because if you go to a rep of anything, right, and go to their event, what they usually ask you is, what do you usually smoke?
Yes.
And then they
It's
tell you
true.
what their brand is competing against that. Oh, you smoke this? I think you'll like this one.
Yeah, they're going to give you something comparable
Mm-hmm.
in their line.
So this is why I say you ask Eric that question too early, because all he can say is, I only see Maduro. I only see ITS. Because the rest of them, we don't have anything. But if we have 12 different blends, I'll be like, oh, you like that one? That's actually not bad. But have you tried this? Then I can say that's not bad. But have you tried that? Right? It's slightly different. Like, you know, especially like it's not even a salesperson thing. If a salesperson working in the shop, you can definitely ask that question, and they'll have a variety of answer for you because they don't represent a brand. They represent the shop who
Yeah.
carries multiple brands.
Yeah, and they want to make the sale on the cigar regardless of what brand it is. Yeah,
Mhm.
I get that. I get that, but
But the whole thing to make your own cigar is because you're not satisfied with a lot of cigar that you smoke. You want a cigar that it represents you. It gives you what you want, exactly what you want. Right? If you have one and there's you don't have the other, you make the other something that's comparable to the other, compete with the other to fill that hole. So it's too early. That's why I say. And I guarantee if we have 12 cigars, you ask Eric, what's your favorite Maduro? And Eric will be like, oh, it's ITS. And what's your favorite? Blah, blah, blah. He'll be like, yeah, this is the other name, blah, blah, blah. It's all got to be the one that he carried. Because if you don't like the cigar that you make over the other cigar that you smoke, then you made a mistake. Think about that. If you don't like your own cigar more than other cigar, you have made a mistake because you didn't make one that you like more. Does that make sense? If you're gonna make a product, obviously you make it because you like this more.
At this point, I really don't think. If I get, it's very controversial. Like if I rank cigar now, because number one is always 100%, 120% of the time be ITS. There's gonna be no cigar that's topping that cigar, ever, in my opinion.
Right, Val? Because you made a product that you like the most. That's why you like. Or else you wouldn't have made it. If Eric wasn't satisfied with ITS, this wouldn't happen. We will still be in an argument right now.
Right.
But when we released it, it's because we were satisfied with that. That was good. That was good. And that's why I'm willing to smoke every single day of my life. I released it. And literally, no joke, I literally smoke one every day.
Is that Joey that's at the bottom? Okay, see.
Yeah, it is Joey. All the red ones are him.
So the easy answer, Tony, would be like, I don't have a Connecticut that I make to recommend to you yet.
You want a Connecticut, I will ask them to recommend. I'll be like, you know what? That guy works at the shop. You should ask him. Maybe he have a good
Yeah,
good
because
suggestion.
I'd be like, yeah, he's better than me at it. For Connecticut.
Well, we'll be like let's say Martin worked in that shop. Hey, Martin, come over here. This gentleman would love to find some recommendation of Connecticut. Would you try it? No, would you take care of him? You know, because like I said, every answer is the wrong answer.
And I would be like, hey, man, I don't work here anymore.
All right, that's okay. Come over here, smoke ITS. There you go. There's the 2 sticks.
Yeah.
But why do you think I stopped reviewing?
Because YouTube is an asshole.
It's not even that. It's just like I literally stopped reviewing. Period. I stopped. Even asked Tony, I want to delete every picture on Instagram other than ITS. I'm still thinking about that shit.
I still try to
Well, look at-
review, but
but
every
look at-
review
but
I did,
then-
I feel weird about it. Like, you know, Val, you see, like the amount of review I put out is a lot less. Because every single one after I finished reviewing it and I went back to watch it, I feel weird about it.
So I gotta figure out to do different kind of content that involve ITS all the time, every video, every chance I get.
Because I understand that now that every cigar that came out is because the blender was satisfied with it. For whatever purpose that they tried to fit in. But at the same time,
So
the consumer me have complained about it. But knowing that that's their direction, saying something bad about it makes me feel weird.
it's funny that that me
And
and
the
Tony,
funny part is that when we first made this, before the release, we talked about this, like nothing's gonna change. But it did.
it did, yeah. The funny thing is, like me and Tony, I don't know about, I can't speak for other people or other brand owners. It's now we have experienced both sides, reviewers and brand owner and watch reviewers. It's like now we have that two side of experience. It's I kind of enjoy both now. It's like you know, when we're reviewers, it was fun. Now that we watch other people reviewing our product, the ITS, the best cigars, y'all should get it in your humidor. And seeing other people reviewing it and their opinion base and everything, it's like shit. We used to be like that. Like what the fuck?
And it's really funny because even the bad comments are good.
Are good. That's the thing. I don't understand that one fuck that complain about fucking review. But yeah, you know, like bad comment, good comment, it just make me have jelly inside.
Yeah. When somebody says something
it's
wrong
good.
with our
It
cigars,
just feel good.
when somebody says something bad about cigars, I'm like, oh, I need to fix that.
You know, it
What's
feel
wrong with
good. It doesn't. I don't get disappointed. I don't.
Yeah.
I just feel all right. We could do better.
It actually got me to like think what went wrong and how do we fix it instead of
Yeah.
he gave me a bad review. Damn it, you know.
No, I appreciate it though. Like that's the thing. It's just
Yeah. So
know?
like anybody say that, you know, again, you shouldn't be putting out bad reviews and stuff like that. I get it on a large scale, high level, but if you do care about your cigar all that much, I think that even a bad review is a learning experience, and
Yeah.
And it's actually very important. It's a lot because you realize it's a lot harder to get an honest bad review than an honest good review. So getting a bad review actually makes me go, okay, I need to fix this. I need to fix that. Maybe that was this. There's a thing. You know, people are getting wet cigars.
Yeah, and
I
like,
should tell
we
everybody
like-
that should rest their cigars a little bit.
you know, it might be like a one-off or something like that. We don't know because there's plenty. We may hold much cigar. It might be one-off, two-off. Then there may be more. Then we have to go in there, back there, and fix it somehow,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah,
The-
it's
the
how it
whole
is.
concept
It's been the whole mindset of this whole thing changed, and like I said, I don't understand the fucks that get fucking mad about bad reviews. fuck that guy.
So that's why, Val. It's not that. Like I said, everything becoming a study session. If somebody had a bad review about my cigar, I want to find out why. I want to see. I want to try it out. I want to drink the same thing that they're drinking. See if I have the similar experience. If it is, I'll put an announcement out there that says, "Hey, don't smoke the cigar with this drink."
Tell the truth, I don't do that.
I did.
That's not my. That yeah, I know you do, but that's not my goal. It's like first of all, like I think you're right to do all that, but to me, it's like you can't really control what they want to pair with. So
Well, no. I'm not telling them they can't pair with it. I'm just telling them that you could find better ones doing this.
Yeah, I think they. Yeah, I think people know that though.
Right? Like people try the V cut, people try the punch. I'm telling you, straight cut is the best for this cigar.
Tell the truth, the lounge, the fucking Ash and Barrel lounge, that guy popped a V cut right in front of me. I was like, okay, it's his. This is like it, when he popped, I was like, all right, cool, but he still liked it.
Yeah,
So
and
like,
I'll tell, and like if that was me, I'll be like telling him like next time you should try straight cut, see if it's any different. It'll be a suggestion because we always look for a best way to enjoy something, right?
When it comes to cuts, I think it's all preference.
It is preference, but that's why I say try that. It's just like when people smoke inside, next time try outside.
But yes, the straight cut is the almighty cut, no matter what cigar it is.
I like a V-cut.
I wouldn't say the straight cut is a mighty cut on a 9x90.
Hey, if you want a lot of smoke,
yeah, if you're smoking a 9x90, I will say try to punch that thing.
Fuck that shit. Go with straight cut.
I'm just saying, right? I think my goal is to find room and places and how for people to enjoy the ITS the best way possible. And however they want to do it, that's up to them, right? But like I want to provide that information out there because that's why we're all searching. Because the number one question is always, what's the best pairing? What do you pair with?
Like when, let's say Peter, cigar collector from Unbanded, he sent me a picture of when he reviewed the ITS. He got a fucking orange Fanta. I was like,
what the fuck?
Okay, bud.
Whatever.
I didn't like, hey, bro, you should pair coffee. But no, he did his thing, right? And I don't know. I was like, I never I saw it in my house, like, fuck, I'm fucked.
Yeah, this is why the review is not out there.
So yeah, it just the review is out there. Peter put it up.
Yeah, he write up a review. I'm talking about.
That's what he does. What are you talking about?
You don't, never mind. I'm not gonna argue about that.
That's what he does.
This is why I didn't go promote the review. But it is just preference and some people their taste buds is so used to orange juice, whatever that they are drinking with, that works for them. And a cream soda and stuff like that too. People are used to that, and then they smoke with that. So whatever fits. But
yeah,
I just find it interesting when somebody find a good pairing. I want to share that. And believe it or not, that's the thing. Because
I'm quitting coffee.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that. We're gonna see him in the hospital in a few days. He's like, I'm quitting coffee.
I'm cutting down on coffee.
He's like, I'm quitting coffee, and then he go drink something with like 45 milligrams of caffeine in it instead.
Yep.
No, I'm trying to lose weight, so I'm cutting down on caffeine.
Wait. If you lose weight, you want caffeine.
Caffeine
help you lose weight.
The way I drink my shit sometimes, I drink my shit with condensed milk. Think about that.
Then start drinking black instead.
Start drinking
Just drink
black, bro. That's what I do.
No, I'm gonna drink water with ice now.
No.
Bro,
Caffeine burns more calories.
At
Just
work,
leave
I
me
get
and my water alone.
Americanos. 2 or 3 of them a day.
Caffeine actually burns more calories.
Yeah, cool.
Whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Do what you want.
I know. I always do what I want.
Do what you
I
want.
know.
Or you can drink hot water. Hot water actually burns
I
quite a bit of
hate.
calories.
I hate drinking hot shit.
Let's see your flex.
I hate drinking hot. Anything hot.
Friend.
I can't even see that.
Fuck you.
Yeah, that's what it is, Val. I don't think we have a new appreciation of what other brand owners doing, and then we'll try to not fit, do things right. Nothing against any other cigar brand, but I think every other cigar brand is doing the same thing too, and I think that's the correct way to do it. Is that because you understand why they make the cigar a certain way?
It's never that. It's just
And even if they make the cigar a certain way that you don't like it, well, that's their way. Because the way we make it, not everybody likes it either.
just don't smoke the cigar you don't like. Period.
Exactly. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Any questions today, guys, in the chat room?
So what's everybody smoking?
I actually did not smoke an ITS tonight because I smoked ITS this afternoon.
Smoking on Bandit.
You know, I was gonna make sure I get the panoramic
too.
roof.
Wait, what did you say, Eric? You're smoking a what?
On Bandit.
He always does now.
It's funny, right? Because he used to refuse unbanned. Now he does is just either ITS or unbanned.
It's unbanned because he removes the band.
Well, every cigar is unbanned until they put a ban on it.
True.
Right? So that's what it is. But, you know, guys, just keep waiting. Because, like, you know, basically, Eric just spoiled the next thing for you guys.
I don't think
I don't
anybody
know-
catch that.
I don't think anybody catched it.
No.
Yeah. Because Eric literally told you guys what the next thing is going to be. Val, did you catch it?
I did not.
Yeah.
I did it smooth, bro.
Oh, you did it pretty smooth. That was quick. I caught it. I caught it right there.
Oh, of course you would caught it. But then I twisted it too, that's why.
True. True. Just wait for the next best thing, yeah? We'll make sure it'll fit all this. We'll get all the spectrum eventually. And that will include a Candela, right, Eric?
Stop it.
Candela. Oh.
Val, I know, like, you see, when you say Candela, right? But imagine if we could fix the problem and Candela become really, really good. Val,
Stop
wouldn't you want to, like, finally smoke a good Candela?
If we do a Candela Puro.
Somebody already did that.
Who?
Somebody tried to roll their own cigar, and the whole entire cigar is pretty much green.
Yeah, that's different.
So we got that going. But yeah. Anyways, 11:03. That will be it for tonight. I appreciate everybody jump on and comment and pal. If you're still here, hopefully algorithm will bring you down here again when you're actually smoking something, maybe. And like I say, if this cigar channel ever disappeared because of YouTube, we will tell you where we gotta be after that. With our Instagram, go to the Instagram, the information we posted there. That's like
Yeah, just follow our Instagram.
Yeah.
Because YouTube are being very choppy right now.
You can follow the Shadow Smokes Legion group, or you can follow the Shadow Smokes Legion cigar, which is SSL cigar. So, and we'll post the information on there if the channel disappears, because we start to see signs of like AI being stupid.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that will be it for today. I will see you guys on Saturday. Have a good night, guys.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Peace.